Everybody trying to be a victim. Like, what's this girl, Meghan Markle? Seemed like a nice lady, just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery? The f is she talking about? She didn't know. It's the royal family. They're the original racists. That's like marrying into the Budweiser family and going, they drink a lot. So racist, is so racist. Some of the she went through was not racism. It was just some in-law shit. Cause she's complaining. I'm like, what the f is she talking about?
ChrisRock stepped onto that stage. Lights down, crowd buzzing, and in under 60 seconds, he didn't just tell a joke about Meghan Markle, he detonated her entire public persona. According to multiple commentators who've analyzed that set frame by frame, what happened that night wasn't comedy. It was a cultural execution.
Biggest addiction in America is attention. We are addicted to attention. Easiest way to get attention is to be a victim.
And nobody, not her PR team, not her lawyers, not even $100 million Netflix deal has been able to undo the damage since. This wasn't a roast. This wasn't a throwaway late-night bit. This was the single most devastating 5 minutes ever directed at a member of the royal family in modern entertainment history. It didn't come from the British tabloids. It didn't come from Piers Morgan. It didn't come from the palace. It came from one of the most respected comedians alive, standing on a stage saying what millions of people had been thinking but were too afraid to say out loud. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why that night changed everything, and why Meghan's carefully constructed narrative may never recover.
So racist, is so racist. Some of the she went through was not racism. It was just some in-law shit. Cause she's complaining. I'm like, what the f is she talking about? No, they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, that's not racist. Cause even black people want to know.
Let's set the scene. ChrisRock's special drops, and within the first minute, he goes directly at Meghan. No warm-up, no dancing around names. He calls out her now infamous Oprah interview, the one watched by over 47 million Americans, and he doesn't question the details. He questions the entire premise. He compares Meghan claiming she didn't know the royal family was racist to marrying into the Budweiser family and acting shocked that they drink a lot. The crowd doesn't just laugh, they erupt, and that eruption is the sound of a narrative collapsing in real time. As multiple cultural commentators have since pointed out, Rock didn't invent a criticism. He crystallized one. He gave language to a frustration that had been building for years. The idea that Meghan Markle, a woman who dated Prince Harry for years, who researched the monarchy, who walked into that palace with a camera-ready smile, somehow had no idea what she was getting into, Rock said it plainly. She didn't stumble into royalty, she pursued it, and the audience, millions of them, nodded along. That's the thing about a perfectly aimed joke. It doesn't just entertain, it gives people permission. Permission to say what they've been holding back, and once that permission is granted, it doesn't get revoked.
Posting up pathetic pictures. This is me eating sushi. Like me. This is me 25 years ago when I was hot. Like me. Oh, it's fucking sad. Everybody trying to be a victim. Like, what's this girl, Meghan Markle? Seemed like a nice lady, just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery? And still going on complaining, acting all dumb like she don't know nothing. Going on Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these motherfuckers?
But it doesn't stop there. Because what happened after that special aired was something no PR firm on earth could have predicted or contained. Within hours, the clip was everywhere. TikTok creators stitched her most awkward interview moments with rolling eyes and sarcastic voiceovers. Twitter users weaponized screenshots of her contradictions. The privacy pleas alongside staged paparazzi shots. The calls for normalcy alongside multi-million-dollar brand deals. YouTube creators dissected her interviews frame by frame, pointing out what they called rehearsed expressions and calculated pauses. And here's what most people don't know. The comedy world didn't just pile on randomly. It synchronized comedians who had never shared a stage were suddenly making identical observations. Diamond Brodkin mocked the Netflix documentary as a 6-hour infomercial for self-pity. British comics painted Meghan and Harry as walking contradictions. cashing massive checks under the banner of purpose while lecturing the world about privilege. Late-night hosts smelled blood. Jimmy Fallon zeroed in on the absurd claim that Meghan and Harry were secretly married 3 days before the royal wedding. Saturday Night Live didn't portray them as rebels or victims. They were cast as a clueless royal dropout and his fame-chasing wife stumbling through a world they desperately wanted to monetize.
The big revelation was that Meghan said that she and Harry actually got married 3 days before the royal wedding. Great, now I feel like a fool for waking up at 5 a.m. to watch two married people get married.
Even Stephen Colbert, hardly known for cruelty, dropped lines that made audiences wince and laugh simultaneously. As one industry insider put it, when every comedian in every time zone is telling the same joke about you, that's not a trend, that's a verdict.
She was hunting for a man in England. She wanted wealth and she wanted fame, and she targeted Harry.
Meghan Markle, the only thing she found was a rich, famous husband.
The nearest thing Meghan Markle ever had to a billion-dollar idea was marrying a prince.
And here's where things get really interesting. Because the animated world delivered what might be the most permanent damage of all. When South Park aired its worldwide privacy tour episode, it didn't just poke fun, it permanently welded Meghan and Harry's hypocrisy into pop culture. The animated versions of the couple screamed for privacy through megaphones while flying on a private jet. A visual gag so precise it didn't need a single word of explanation. Family Guy reduced them to a 2-second throwaway about getting millions from Netflix for nobody knows what. And that's the danger people underestimate. Once you become a cartoon, that version of you sticks in the public mind longer than reality ever will.
Dunno, Megs. I've tried every career there is. Prince, Hitler. Maybe I'm just not qualified for anything.
That's not true. You're a great husband, a good-hearted man. You've got big, muscular teeth.
Thanks, Meg. And I guess now I'm qualified for this. Unemployment!
As cultural analysts have documented extensively, animated satire operates on a completely different level than a news cycle. News fades, cartoons replay forever. Every kid who watches that South Park episode 10 years from now will associate Meghan Markle not with royal glamour, but with performative victimhood. Let that sink in. When you put all of this together, a pattern starts to emerge that goes far beyond comedy. This isn't just about jokes, it's about the complete inversion of a public narrative. For years, Meghan positioned herself as the sympathetic outsider, the underdog battling a cold institution. That framing survived tabloid attacks. It survived palace leaks, it survived family feuds. But it did not survive laughter because mockery does something criticism cannot. It makes the subject feel small. And once an audience starts laughing at you instead of with you, the emotional contract is broken permanently. No exclusive interview rebuilds it. No polished Instagram post reverses it. The filter has changed. And now everything Meghan says or does gets processed through that filter first. Which brings us to the most important question of all. What did Bill Maher do that was arguably even more devastating than anything ChrisRock delivered? Because Maher didn't come with props or skits or cartoon versions. He came with cold, forensic logic. He didn't mock Meghan's quirks. He dissected her entire strategy. He pointed out the hypocrisy of wanting the perks of royalty without the responsibility, the fame without the scrutiny, the spotlight without the heat. He contrasted their endless grievances with the stoic silence of Queen Elizabeth, a woman who endured decades of relentless press without once turning it into a streaming special. That comparison alone was devastating. One side looked dignified, the other looked desperate.
He has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits, which will be set in Los Angeles. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant.
And then Maher said something that landed like a sledgehammer. The world is not obligated to play along with your personal drama. That single line stripped away the victim narrative and exposed the entitlement beneath it. No shouting, no cheap shots, just a blunt clinical truth that left the audience nodding instead of laughing. As multiple commentators have since observed, Maher didn't just roast Meghan, he diagnosed her brand, and the prognosis was terminal.
Careful, Harry. I spilled some essential oils on the floor.
So what happens now? Here's what the data tells us. Meghan's approval ratings in the UK have cratered to historic lows, with some polls showing disapproval figures above 80%. Their Spotify deal, once reportedly worth $25 million, ended with a senior executive publicly calling them grifters. The Netflix content has underperformed expectations by virtually every metric that matters, and every single attempt to pivot, the charity announcements, the rebranded interviews, the carefully curated social media posts, lands with a thud, because the public now hears every word through the echo of those punchlines. Politicians survive scandals. Celebrities recover from PR disasters. But when your name becomes shorthand for performative hypocrisy in pop culture, when South Park has immortalized your contradictions, when ChrisRock has given the entire world permission to laugh, the road back doesn't just get harder. It may not exist at all. We are watching that happen in real time, and the most devastating part is that this destruction wasn't orchestrated by the palace or the press. It was delivered by comedians, shared by millions, and sealed with laughter. And laughter, as Meghan Markle is learning the hard way, doesn't give anything back. The question now isn't whether her public image can be repaired. The question is whether the people closest to her, the ones whose reputations are now chained to hers, are starting to realize the same thing. That's it for today, folks. See you in the next video.